Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I'm here to make this quick video about Armor Wars being a movie. Now this movie slash show is insane. I mean, this thing has been up, it's been down, it's been round and round. It was on the schedule. This thing was announced way back when Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier were announced. That's when this was announced. It was announced with those shows. This thing was announced before Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. All three of those shows have come out. This thing was announced so long ago. It's crazy. It was announced with Hawkeye and stuff. This thing should have been out a year ago. At least that's what we feel. But there hasn't been any casting news. I'm not sure if they have I think they have a director and a writer, but there hasn't been a lot known about it. All we knew was that it may be connected in some way to to Ironheart and to Secret Invasion. That's it. And then one day, at Comic-Con, when Kevin Feige had his whole list, he announced the Avengers, Avengers movies, we looked up and we went, wait, me and Superwise on his stream were like, wait a minute, where's Armor Wars? It was there. Where the hell is it? Armor Wars should be like the next thing coming out, but it ain't. Fucking Loki season 2 has been filmed before Armor Wars. So we all wonder what the fuck was going on with that, and now we kind of know. Is that essentially, working through the process of making the Armor Wars, they've come to the conclusion that it's too, I don't know. They said, Marvel Studios put out an official statement saying that they've pretty much come to the conclusion that the only way they can do this, they're committed to doing this right, and the only way they can do it right is to make it a movie and not a show. Which, okay, alright, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that you guys are willing to go, well, we got to bump this up to make this right. Really, I think what happened is that they were working on it. In the early stages, they were like, yeah, okay, this makes sense being, a show. And then they started talking about it, and then they started thinking about the budget for the suits and stuff. And either two things happened, or either different things happened, or both of these things happened. Either A, they realized that the budget was so big that it's like, dude, we're not going to be able to make this thing look that good on Disney Plus. We might be able to make it look good most of the time. But either A, we're going to have to chop down on these action sequences, because we've heard that about She-Hulk, that She-Hulk had more action sequences in it than it does now. She-Hulk apparently they had a few more action sequences in it, but they had to cut it down because of the CGI, because they couldn't afford to have her in her CGI form all the time. So even She-Hulk was supposed to have more action sequences with She-Hulk, but they couldn't do that because they're like, dude, it's TV still. You're stretching 150. It's $150 million sounds like a lot until you're talking about stretching it over the course of 9 episodes. And then you look at something, and same thing with Rhodey and Armor Wars, which probably would have been even more CGI, because at least in She-Hulk, you're just using CGI on one person. In Armor Wars, you're using CGI on his suit, on the things he's fighting and whatnot. And then I think they realized that this movie is going to cost too much to make on TV, to make effectively on TV. And the second thing is, I think they realized that they might not have as much, what's the word I'm looking for, story to tell in 6 episodes, or six or whatever episodes they were going to make the show. I think they realized they didn't have enough story to tell there to stretch it out over the course of that length of time. And they probably kind of started going, well, we could just cut this out, we could cut this out and cut this out. That's probably what happened too, is once they started working on the script, and once they started working on it, they probably realized, we cut this, and this out, we're looking at a 2-hour movie. And that's when they probably realized, we should just make this a fucking movie. And that's what I think happened. And it kind of heightens things up a bit, because we already know Armor Wars and Secret Invasion and Ironheart are connected. So it kind of has this Trinity thing going with so Secret Wars, we already know that Secret Wars will be a setup for Armor Wars. I mean, not Secret Wars, Secret Invasion will be a setup for Armor Wars. Rhodey is in Secret Invasion. So this is going to be more like, so now you can kind of look at Secret Invasion as the WandaVision to Doctor Strange. That's basically how it's going to be. Like, Secret Invasion is going to be the setup for the movie, which is how they should do them. And Feige kind of hinted that he was going to start doing that anyways, having more, he said he was going to have more isolated, like, arcs where these things are connected, but they're not, but these connected things aren't connected to the bigger things. Like, these three things, like, mini, like, arcs, mini connective arcs that are connected to each other, but not the whole, you know? So, Ironheart, Invasion, and War Machine are directly connected to one another, but they might not be connected to some other, like Captain America or something like that. Though I would go on a limb and say Captain America and Thunderbolts will probably be connected, but I digress. I'm happy about this. Don Cheadle, I love Don Cheadle. I think he's much better than Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard had this weird thing going, which makes sense because he's a weird fucking dude. But Don Cheadle, he always played a better straight man than Tony. Because Terrence Howard always seemed like he was trying to be cooler than Tony. Like he had this way about him. Whereas Don Cheadle, you believe him as this military-minded straight man. I am this. But he can joke with Tony. You believe they were best friends. And it'd be interesting to see his mindset. Because this will also be a story about a disabled person. Because while Rhodey has these limbs or whatever, these ability to walk, if they're not working, he can't walk. So it will be a story about someone with a disability. So that will also be cool. And since they're bumping it up to movie level, we're going to get some Iron Man movie level action set pieces in this thing. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. I'm excited for this. I was already excited for Armor Wars. But I cannot wait for this. And maybe Justin Hammer. I mean, just, you know, maybe Justin Hammer. That would be great. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.